Dude, that's why I go to the gym. Try to fight the dad bod away.
Who needs to work at gym, man? I'm fucking dropping weight like a...
Start a restaurant? Is that stress? Is that what that's from? Do I have to like, what's the protocol?
No, I think you're good.
Okay. I mean,
you're also going to be sharing with the other guests, so
Okay,
that's
so
just what's up.
do this then.
Yeah, okay.
Who's the other guest?
Well, these guys are going to come on,
Okay,
tell us about their new jam here.
great. Love that.
And then we have Jake from Spot On Point of Sale.
Okay.
Arizona is a wildly beautiful place, brimming with over 100 brewing companies. I'm Rob Fulmer, the Director of Government and Community Affairs for the Arizona Craft Brewers Guild. I'm joined by Executive Director Andrew Baum. Together we cover the state, bringing you the best of what's happening at our breweries and beyond. Welcome to Arizona Beer Frontier.
He's to the south for Walter Station.
Cool.
Join the guild, so I said,
Love
sure,
that.
let's do it. Okay. I guess, have we had enough banter yet?
I don't know, have we? You and I always just roll right
I
into
feel
it.
like banter is pretty much,
There's no,
right there.
There's no like,
Every day is a banter day.
we don't warm up. We just dive in.
Well, welcome to the Arizona Beer Frontier. Today,
I'm so happy to be here.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you're here too.
I'm so happy.
Where are we?
We are at the new Oro Brewing and Vice Company.
Mhm.
The reinvented Oro Brewing and Vice Company.
Right.
Oro rebranded into this really rad divey bar.
Right now, it used to be super bright in here.
Yep.
Now we've got a little tone down on
I
the
know.
lights. We've got some red lights,
Very moody.
Christmas lights.
Yep.
We're selling a bunch of little
Tobacco
snacky
and
snacks.
zins and
Yeah,
everything that industry people need to stay alive.
keep on rolling. Yeah. Well, you are Johann Warnholtz.
I am. That is me.
After you're done with that sip, why don't you tell us a little bit about why would Johann Warnholtz be on this podcast? Is kind of a question people might have.
Well, this is just another part of my unending project to butt myself into the beer industry
And do everything you can in beer.
Yeah,
I love it.
without actually working at a brewery.
Yeah.
So I own Exceptional Vibe, which is a events and marketing company here in Phoenix. I put on mostly food and beverage events, but all kinds of other fun events, corporate events, dinners, beer festivals, food festivals, you name it. And I also do marketing for local businesses, and I'm a big beer fan. I've been a big beer fan for a very long time, and I've turned it into a business.
How did you get into craft beer?
How did I get? Oh my gosh. Okay, so the story of how I first started drinking beer is when I was 19, I moved to Paris for 6 months. And while I was in Paris, I told myself, I'm not a big wine guy. I don't like spirits because I had drank tequila too much prior to that. And so I was like, I'm gonna learn to like beer. So I went to a bar and I ordered a beer, like whatever their light beer, 1664, whatever the light beer is in France, and a Coke. And I would drink the beer until I was like too bitter or whatever, and I'd chase it down with the Coke. And then after like 2 weeks of going to the bar like 3 or 4 times a week and doing that, I noticed that I would finish the beer before I even touched the Coke.
Aww.
And then eventually I stopped ordering the Coke, and then I just started enjoying the beer. And by the time I got back to the States, I was like, PBR was like my jam. And then my brother was into craft beer at the time already, so he was like, you should try Blue Moon. And so I tried Blue Moon, and then I went into the Belgians and the Hefeweizens and that maltier, sort of sweeter route. I got really into Kilt Lifter, and then I just dove right in, and now I like everything.
How did I not know you had a brother?
I do.
Okay, great. So you got into beer that way, you moved back here, you started drinking the malty things.
Yep.
And then you started homebrewing
Oh man,
a while down the road.
homebrewing.
10 years down.
Yeah,
the road.
homebrewing came significantly after I started homebrewing. God, I think it might be around 3 years ago now. It was 2021. I think it was right after I moved into my house, and I had the space for it. I had done a Mr. Beer set before at my condo before that, but it's so much less involved. Or at least I didn't. I just followed instructions. Right?
Yeah.
It wasn't like I wasn't in it.
But that's great to get into it.
Yeah.
I mean, you make
what
your first
happened
beer
is-
and you're like, this actually happened. Now I can do more.
Totally. I actually don't remember what it tasted like at all. I don't like. My brain didn't register that I made beer until later on when I wanted to get into it. I had met you and Rob, and I'd gotten more into the industry through events and everything. And I still remember I went to Arizona Strong, and I went to the Ash booth, and they were like, "Are you going to sign up?" I was like, "Yeah." And so I signed up, and I went to a brew day, and then the next day I brewed my first beer.
You sure did.
I did.
Yeah,
And
we
then-
spent some time in your garage brewing together.
Yeah,
That's
we've
fun.
Brewed a lot of good beers together.
Yeah, it's great. Let's see. What are some of the more unique events that you put on? As long as you're here. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
let's learn about you.
so I started my company in October of this past year, so
Which is
coming up on
the
a
exceptional vibe.
year. The Exceptional Vibe. Prior to that, I was the marketing director for a local publication. I put on several events with them. But on my own, I think the most unique event I've done has been my Sunday Dinner at the Deuce series, which is a dinner that I put on. We've done 3 of them so far at the Deuce in downtown Phoenix. We bring in 3 chefs. They all cook their version of the same dish or some theme, and then guests get to try all 3 and then vote for their favorite at the end. So it's like a live cooking show. People have really enjoyed it. We did a surf and turf dinner, we did a mole dinner, and then we did a barbecue dinner. We have a vegan one coming up, and then we have a Thanksgiving one in November. And it's just it's competitive, but it's really friendly. The chefs all kind of get along and riff off each other a little bit, and then it's just a pure vote from the guests. So it's a truly democratic winner, and it's just a lot of fun. And the food is, I mean, Arizona has such a great food scene and so many really good chefs, and sometimes, just like our beer is just now starting to get the recognition nationally, I think our food is just starting to get recognition nationally. And so, anything we can do, or anything I can do to sort of promote and elevate our local chefs and our local brands, it's just a lot of fun.
Cool. Dig it. And tell us a little about your family life.
Yeah.
And maybe like your extremely varied where you've lived.
Oh gosh. So I have a 2.5-year-old daughter. Her name's Emma. She is incredible. She's this little spark plug of a human, and she's just a lot of fun. And then my wife, Mallory, is the level-headed, disciplined one in the family. I'm the heads in the cloud, creative one. So she keeps me grounded, and it's amazing. We live in Gilbert, and it's just a great place to be, and it's a good life for sure. My background is a little unique. I was born in Mexico City. My parents were both born and raised in Mexico City, but when I was a year old, I moved to Germany, and when I was 5, we moved here to Phoenix. So English is my 3rd language. German has certainly dropped off in terms of my fluency, but Spanish is what I speak with my family. It's what I speak with my daughter as often as I can. And
I love it.
it's kind of
Very cool.
And then 6 months in Paris,
Yeah.
which was a fluke, but it was a good fluke. It was a good time. And I learned to drink beer there, so no complaints.
Right. Yeah, that's great. I mean, I'm very thankful for Paris for that. Thank you, guys. Oh, let's cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
Also, we forgot to say, this isn't your podcast. It's a podcast about beer.
Is that
That's
right? Okay.
different. Yes.
It
Yeah.
is.
We're not going to be reviewing these delicious beers from Oral, but we are going to be drinking them.
Yeah.
One thing I love is I can come in here and get a Saison anytime I want.
That is nice. I went dark to contrast your lighter beer.
Oh, my goodness.
So that visually,
Yeah, it's very important.
Yeah, but also, malty and dark. My favorite.
It's great. Hey, tell me about some of your favorite things in the Arizona beer scene.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, you're my co-host. I'm not here to interview
totally.
you, but here we are.
I think for me, the thing that I love the most about the Arizona beer scene is like the general cohesion of it, like the camaraderie, A good example of it is Sana Sana is one of the newer, if not the newest brewery in Phoenix, down off of Roosevelt in downtown Phoenix. And I remember going for their soft opening and just seeing people from other breweries just filing in with 4-packs, like as a gift of like welcome to the community. And it's just like I don't know of any other industry that does that. And it's, to me, that level of camaraderie and sort of support, mutual support is it makes it fun to be a part of that community. I think if it was a little more cutthroat and a little more, there's always competition, but if it was a little bit more aggressive, then I don't think it would be as fun to be a part of it.
One thing that helps us out, I think, is that we have a majority of breweries that are more taproom focused. If we were in a bigger state where there was a lot more fighting for shelf space and fighting for every single placement in craft beer bars and things, that it might be a little different.
Sure.
But I'm just thankful for what it is, for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely helps that we're the fifth largest city in the country. There's a lot of real estate. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of space for a lot of breweries to fit in and be a part of it. I think if we were in a smaller town, that the amount of people that you can market to starts to narrow, and so the competition for those people maybe gets a little more intense. There's 6.something million people in Phoenix. There's plenty of people to go around.
It's a lot of people here, and people ask me, "Are we oversaturated?" And I say, "Oh my God, no, we're not oversaturated. There are so many neighborhoods that do not have access to a brewery easily. Of course, they go 10 miles, they'll hit one. They go even 5 miles, they'll probably be able to find one.
Yeah.
But a neighborhood brewery, there are so many neighborhoods that just don't have that yet.
Yeah.
Should we? I don't know. Maybe not.
A lot of neighborhoods don't have the demand for it yet either, right? Like there's parts of Phoenix that maybe aren't as
Is that
focused.
chicken and egg?
Maybe. 100%.
If a brewery opened and people, and that operator was able to generate some excitement, they could make a go of it just about anywhere, I think.
That's completely fair.
Says the guy who doesn't own a brewery and the guy who doesn't own a brewery. It's perfect. We know everything about the industry, that's for sure.
I think you and I are in a position where we get to see how a lot of different people are doing it. And I could be wrong, always. It's likely that I am. But I think when you own a brewery, your time and attention is focused on your brewery.
Oh, so much.
You definitely talk to other brewers, and I'm sure everybody's sharing information and sharing.
Yeah, but probably not as often as you think.
Your focus is like operating your own brewery, and so
getting exhausted and beat up constantly. And like
so
how
you
much
and I are in a position where we do talk to a lot of different breweries about how they're doing business, and so I think the insight into what's working, what's not, maybe we have a little bit more access to that because we're sampling from several different places.
Yeah. We get to see a kind of a bigger picture than if you're in 4 walls all the time. It's tough. Yeah.
For sure.
Let's see. What lessons have you learned that breweries could make events easier for themselves?
It's like, what lessons have I learned? God, that is an open-ended question. No, about events. I think finding your community and your sort of personality is really important in an area where there are a lot of breweries. It's maybe not oversaturated, but there are a lot of choices, and I see.
Yeah, we're in downtown Mesa right now. There's a fair number of breweries here right now.
I could throw a rock in 5 directions.
And I feel like 2 more are going to open next week. I just don't know why. But
so I think it's finding that personality. You know, I mentioned Sana Sana already, but I think Sana Sana is a good example of a brewery that is making craft beer and is marketing to craft beer people, but also has like a whole other community.
They have their own niche.
Right.
I mean, and not only just to be a niche, but
Yeah.
to be authentic to their people.
And maybe that other community is not even beer drinking, right? Maybe they're just people who are a part of that community, and so they come in because they have other options.
Right.
You know, I think about Tyler up at Kitsune. He started his Tabletop Tuesdays and his game nights and all that stuff, and now he like leaned really hard into that. Now he has D&D groups coming in and you know, all those card games and stuff coming in, and it's like the spot for them to all go and hang out.
And he buys like the limited edition stuff from the manufacturer and then
sells
is
them.
able to sell them.
So there's like
retail.
Right.
That's a thing. Yeah.
So I think to me there's 2 things that I've noticed that can make a brewery stand apart is having that sort of secondary community that you lean into and that you like, you know, try to own, and then you know, I mean, a food program helps, right? The food program helps, retail helps. I think if your choice is go to a brewery that has food and go to a brewery that doesn't have food, I think most people are going to pick the one that has food. So having a constant stream of food trucks or food vendors, I think, helps a lot. Having restaurants next door that are willing to bring the food over helps a lot. So like,
I think having any food in your 4 walls helps.
Yes.
Like, it doesn't matter what it is.
100%.
Hot dog, shitty Wisconsin-style tavern pizza. Anyone can do that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, 100%, right? Because who hasn't been, you know, a couple beers in, so all of a sudden you're hungry. Like,
yeah, and I don't want to walk out the door and go somewhere and wait there for the food and then have to come all the way back. I'd rather sit here, drink my beer, and then have another one while I'm eating.
Totally. So that certainly helps. But like diversifying, right? Having the right license to be able to pour wine, because then the people that don't like beer. I know.
Don't get me started.
I know, but it helps, right? Because then, if
hugely.
it's a group of people, they're like,
I want that for all our breweries.
Right.
It's just not. I mean,
it's not easy.
In Maricopa County, that's $50,000 right up front.
Uh-huh.
Maybe it's come down a little bit in the last year. It's higher. It's still up there above. Okay, so yeah. I mean, that's a lot of money up front, and we're working on trying to ease that burden.
Yeah, I mean, that's amazing.
That we're not there yet.
I mean, ultimately,
we're working on it this legislative session.
Cool.
Not that it's going to get done, but it is definitely one of the main targets.
I love that. And I mean, obviously, you know, a lot people that don't know the guild always ask me, like, well, what do they do? I'm like, they exist to make life easier for the breweries.
That's all day.
And I think you guys have done a good job of that. Cool. But yeah, I mean, you know, my advice isn't I'm not always aware of like the financial implications of the advice that I could try to give a brewery, but definitely like the more you can diversify, the more people you're going to get in.
Right.
And so and then just getting involved in the community, you know. I know beer festivals are important, but they're also a big expense. So, you know, maybe it's not always feasible to participate in every single festival. But
it wouldn't make sense.
Right.
I've given that advice to brewers and said, you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
But what do you think could make that expense more? Brewers are going to have to spend the money on people being there, on beer there, on taking someone out of the building that they need that day. What do you think breweries could do to make that better for them?
Worthwhile.
Instead of it just being, oh God, I have to give away free beer, I have to get my employees out. How could you make that a better thing? So
I think about this a lot, not just for breweries, but you know, when I do food festivals for restaurants, like how do you translate your presence at a festival into like feet through the door at your brewery and ultimately money in your cash register or however you want to. That's more symbolic now than anything, but I think getting creative with how you interact with people at your booth is really important. I think, especially for a big event like Arizona Strong, doing something to invite those people into your brewery after the event, whether that's some sort of post festival party, or whether it's something that you can hand out, if you have a good interaction with someone and they're really like the beer, give them a card that invites them into the brewery, for a special event or something, because then they're going to feel like, oh, that was cool, I had a great interaction. If you give it to everybody, then it might cheapen it. But just doing something to, when it's food festivals, I always tell restaurants, bring an iPad where you can take reservations at the festival.
Cool.
Turn that interaction into a 2 weeks down the road, they're in your restaurant, right? Or hand out something for a free appetizer or free dessert, or something that translates your interaction with that person into them coming into your business.
Sure. And it's that person behind the booth. A lot of times, I know that people are struggling with their staffing points, and they just go, I don't know, send Timmy out. And so Timmy goes out, but Timmy's probably not the right person for that. When I was at the Perch, we used to do a business card for every beer that we had on draft at our festival. And on the back was a bounce back coupon, and on the front was the name of the beer. And before they could have that beer out of my hand, they were taking that business card, or they were not getting their beer.
That's awesome.
You put it in your pocket, because I know in half an hour you won't remember it.
Yeah.
You thought it was amazing, and tomorrow, poof, gone. So
well, and then also coming up with creative ways that when people empty their pockets at the end of the day, they don't just throw everything in the trash. Wilderness gives out these little wooden chips.
Yeah.
That are a 1 cent pint or something.
Right.
You empty your pockets at the end of the day, you might have a stack of stickers and coupons and whatever.
Sure.
But that little wooden chip is going to stand out. And you're like, oh yeah, this is a 1 cent, a penny pint at Wilderness. I'm going to save that.
It's cool.
And
I think I have one of those.
Yeah, right? I had one and I used it. Because I was like, oh, I'm going to go to Wilderness. So finding something, whether that's a bottle cap, or I don't know, just something that's unique to you, or that's different, so that when they do empty their pockets, they're like, this stands out. I think just a little bit of creativity. And I'll throw this out there right now. If any brewery wants some tips or brainstorm sesh of how they can turn a festival into more of an impact, I'm wide open for that.
Hey, before we get our friends from Oro on,
yes,
one more question.
Uh-huh.
For people who love beer like you do,
yes,
and want to be more involved, what should they do to get more involved in the community?
First, follow as many breweries as you can, local breweries as you can, on social media, because they're all super active, and they're posting their events, they're posting their beer releases, they're posting all of the things on Instagram. And so getting on there, and even if you just create an Instagram just to follow a bunch of breweries, it helps them because it gives them an audience, and it's a really good way to stay up to date. So I think that's the first thing, is just follow as many breweries as you can on social. You didn't ask me to do this, but follow the Guild. The Guild is constantly posting things about local breweries as well. There's certain beer influencers in Phoenix that I think do a great job of kind of keeping up with that. I think of Rachel Binkowski. I think of Charlie. Charles. This is Charles Culinary Chronicles, or Craft Chronicles. I think the culinary one got hacked, but following those people that are having the conversations and then sharing it with everyone, I think helps a lot. The Exceptional Vibe on Instagram.
Oh yeah,
pretty good job.
That's nice.
We try to share, when somebody posts something exciting, like an anniversary or whatever, I try to share it on our stories to just try to get it out to more eyeballs. So, but I think social media is just such a powerful tool for that. And if you want to be more involved, if you want to be more in the know, there's been plenty of times where I've seen somebody post about a beer release, and I'm in the car 15 minutes later to go get
Yeah.
Back in the day, it was a growler. Now it might be a can or something, but it's a great way to stay up to date.
All right. Well, Dave, you gonna be repping Oro?
Or is it Grant?
Come on, Grant, Dave, come over to the hot seat, y'all. Well, it's our first time at Oro my first time at Oro in the newly revamped Oro and Vice Co. What was the inspiration for this?
Well, there are a couple things. Grant's joined us, you joined us, what, 2.5 months ago, 3 months?
Something like that, yeah.
And we were kicking around some ideas just to kind of get a little more activity in the tap room, because getting through summer and that, things kind of slow down.
Kind of.
Yeah.
To say the least,
yeah. In truth, yes, really slow down. And we discussed some things like, what are some of the biggest days in a business's history? And it was usually opening day, and then sadly, when they say, hey, we're going out of business, and then everybody's like, oh, I got to get down there one more time. And it's like, well, I wish you would have been here beforehand. We wouldn't have to go out of business.
Right.
But those 2 times seem like the biggest thing. And it's like, well, we don't really want to go out of business, so how about if we open again? And then Grant kind of took that, and he's like, well, I think if we're going to open again, then we do it this way. And he kicked around some ideas and actually came up with some themes and that. And we had a meeting on that, and it was basically, okay, let's do it.
Cool.
We're going that route.
Great.
Yeah. And everybody that works here basically has something to do with what we did. They brought in their own posters. They brought in Pez dispensers. They brought in things from their garages, from home. I brought in guitars and basses and stuff. They brought in a skeleton. I mean, you name it.
It turns out everything you have in your house in a box belongs in a dive bar.
Get it out.
Yeah.
Get it out of the house. Put it to
Whose
use.
skeleton is it?
One is mine and one is Jesse's.
Yep.
Bad joke.
And we did actually have a couple of vintage Playboys in here. And those were from a collection of mine, literally from the late 70s or early 80s. And we ended up selling them. People were like, hey, can I get that?
You cleaned up on those.
Yeah,
too.
That's great.
So it was cool. So I'll be getting some more of those. And then we'll get some Playgirls for the ladies.
Sure, that's nice.
What's the inspiration behind the retail?
There's a vacuum on the street. Like the nearest convenience store bodega is nearly a mile away. And if this street doesn't have a lot of traffic during the summer, we have to curtail to the people who are on the street, which is industry people. And they need deodorant, they need chapstick, they need cigarettes and Zins and toothpaste and condoms and Dave's Playboys. Like,
Yeah.
So, it really is central to industry people.
Yeah.
So that's
I love it.
Very cool. I noticed that we've got Trigo Suave, your gold winning beer. Dave has been on the show before, so he has an advantage over you. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I mean, it's not a big one, but it's there. Tell me a little bit about where the beer program is heading with your... First, we have the new Oro and Vice Co. And then we also have the new barbecue place that is...
We're working on that diligently. We have a few things that we have to take up with the city, and hopefully we can get those all resolved and keep moving forward. It's been a challenge, to say the least. But one of the things that we tried to, we discussed earlier on was also, since we don't do a lot of distribution, how else can we get our beer out there and get some steady sales? And one of the options was have a second tap room that we supply. So we get some extra sales out of that. And that kind of morphed into the partnership with Chris from Nicky's on doing the barbecue. So we've been looking for quite a few months at different spaces now. We almost had a spot in North Scottsdale, but then the spot on Central came up, and it seemed like that was probably the best fit for us. So we're kind of in that direction, just to get more beer out there and get more people to know who we are
Yeah.
You know, because we get a lot of people from Phoenix and that, but it's usually people who have moved from Mesa. You know, like, oh, we live on West Side now, or we live in Central Phoenix, and we get to come back down here every once in a while. Sometimes it brings some people, sometimes not, but if we can let people know from a different location about us, and then maybe get more interest in coming down to the tap room and the brewery and check that out, that would be cool.
You've done the light rail beer trail
We did.
in the past, which I thought was brilliant. Did that impact you? Are you looking at doing that again, or?
Well, Walter Station was the ones who kind of took the lead on that last year, and since they shut their place down, and their staff was gone, we didn't have that same interaction this year. But I thought it was a great idea. We actually did get quite a few people in here, gave away most of our glasses.
Cool.
And it was just kind of nice. People were making a day of it.
Right.
Starting on one side and ending on the other.
Well, the other thing is your new location in Central Phoenix is, let's say, Roosevelt adjacent, like 2 blocks off Roosevelt, right?
Yeah. And there's
So
a
it
light rail
really-
stop right there.
Yeah, and it really like hits in with all of those other breweries that are down there. There's Not Barbecue down there. That sounds like a damn.
If Walter Station's not putting that on anymore, I know someone who could.
Yeah, you do. You met him here.
Would it be
David's
somebody
like, I don't want to do any more events with you.
somebody that's vibing right now?
Maybe.
Yeah,
Always.
exactly.
No, that's the light rail does have. You have access to a lot of places. I mean, even the shop is less than a mile away from a light rail station. So you got Tempe, you got Mesa, and you got downtown Phoenix. Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, a little passport book,
Yeah.
some stampy stamps.
I love that. And then what, a glass if you finish it?
No, I think one of those little hotel keychains. The people love that stuff.
Okay.
The old
So,
school.
yeah. I mean, it fits your vibe more than anyone else.
Right.
So you're welcome.
I'm taking it.
All
I'll
right.
take it.
Well, great. Anything else you want to share about any of your projects going on, or?
No, stay tuned. We're working on a couple other things, and we'll see how those go, if they pan out or not. So I won't divulge yet, but
Cool.
yeah, we're working on some other items. But yeah,
World
it's-
domination.
Yes, exactly.
A Malort beer?
Oh God.
Hey, Grant,
Don't tempt me.
what's your favorite thing about working at Oro?
What's my favorite thing about
Since
working
you
at
haven't said as much as I thought you would.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
I don't know.
You know. Probably the people.
Cool.
I really enjoy.
Really? No, just kidding.
Weird. I met Dave. That's
No, I've known Dave for years, and I've kind of been creepily admiring Jesse and his beer from afar for years. So
because he always hits home runs.
absolutely, and that's really difficult to do.
Yeah.
Between the beer and those curls.
Yeah, right.
You know, what's there not to love?
Literally nothing. There's nothing not to love. Yeah,
Cool.
and you know we get to do cool shit here. So
Dang, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I think we have another guest that needs to come on now.
all right.
So let's
Thank you.
rock out. Thank you for spending your time, opening your home to us when it's closed. I know no one was supposed to be here right now, and you took all of your time out of your lives just to be here for us. So
It's because you're
thanks.
cool. That's why.
And you are wrong, but continue on.
I think it's
Tell me more.
pretty cool, Andrew.
Am I pretty?
Yeah.
Keep going.
Okay, that's fair.
He said cool,
Okay.
not cute.
I know that. That's what I was fishing for. What the hell?
Yeah. Keep fishing.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
I mean, I have 800 different things. Oh, sit down, guys. Yeah, I'm recording here. I'm recording here. I'm recording here. I'm recording here. All these phones are recording. Everything's gonna be fine. We're not gonna lose out on any of the audio. Scoot that way. I swear he doesn't know. Okay, cool.
I
We're all
a
in.
little bit too.
Howdy. How's it going?
Good to see you.
Cool. Thank you.
I'm Jake as well.
What up? Oh, that's
Jake.
perfect. I love that.
Olson.
Are you the
Also
north?
Jake Olson. I am east.
Oh.
Yeah, so Drew's the north.
I'm
All
the
right.
guy, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I just drove all the way down.
Wow.
I know.
Now I feel so fancy. All
As soon as
right.
Jake said you were going to be here, I was like, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I did target most of my questions, which are only 3, because you're just gonna have to tell me what's going on. But give me the quick intro on why you guys are here and how we all got to this place.
Well, I think the biggest reason is because of this guy right here. This is Jake Olson. And I'm also Jake Olson. So
Oh my God.
hopefully we don't get too confused here.
Same spelling?
The best way that we have been able to distinguish it is that this is Beer Jake.
Mm.
He comes from this industry. He is known as Beer Jake within our company now. So it's a very easy distinguisher. It just doesn't help that we have the same exact name, same exact height, even same dad name. It's crazy. Different story, different time, but Jake kind of got us introduced. Has made a lot of connections to a lot of breweries and tap rooms, which, you know, we're coming from Spot On. So Spot On, we are a restaurant hospitality technology platform. So we service and really focus in on that industry. And we recently have a product that has been developed and I think works very, very well for tap rooms and for breweries. For, you know, quick changes on the POS and, you know, keeping track of inventory of their taps and their kegs and things like that. So a very, very easy platform to use. So we are in the POS space, POS industry. But again, just really focusing on the restaurant hospitality side of things.
Cool. So I know as being a restaurant manager for like 20 years, frustrations like losing connection and in the middle of a Friday night, things just don't work. Why does that happen? I mean, I feel like we're in a whole new world where that shouldn't go. What kind of redundancy does it take to make that disappear? Oh, introduce yourself.
Well, I'm Drew. I'm the
Drew.
Northern Arizona guy with Spot On.
And if anyone knows anything
This is
about
Beer Drew.
losing connection in Northern Arizona, it's going to be this.
Yeah, we're still like 20 years behind on internet connection alone.
Yeah,
So
my son lives up there. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I also was in the craft beer world around Arizona, as you know, for 11 years, something like that.
Expand on that, yo. This is a beer podcast.
Yeah, it's a
That's all
beer.
it's for.
Yeah, so.
I mean, it's not a beer podcast. It's a podcast
I
about
was going
beer.
to say,
Yeah, I just contradicted my own intro.
That's all right. So I started in distribution sales for a few distributors up north. Got into the craft beer world. Worked for a couple big breweries around the state, some fun ones, just selling, and then moved on about a year and a half ago and came to work for Spot On. Just working kind of same people that I know, right? You're selling to bars, restaurants, tap rooms, but now I get to help them on another end. So, to your question, kind of about the connection, busy Friday night, our company has worked really hard to develop a couple fail safes, right, for that. We have a backup router that's built into our system that as soon as your internet goes out, it kicks on with cellular. We also, with our new product, have offline mode that works seamlessly throughout the entire system. Whether you have internet or not, it can still fire off orders to the kitchen even without that internet, which that has always been a holdup for everybody, right? The
Right.
handhelds go down, nobody's orders are getting sent in. Ours has a separate connection to everything, including the kitchen printers, that just goes straight to them. Saves us a lot of time and a lot of headaches on Friday nights.
Mm-hmm. I'm the only one drinking here. This is great.
I mean, you beat me to ordering another beer, so
I'm drinking. You guys like a beer?
Of course.
Yeah.
Is
that a
I didn't know what the MO was.
protocol?
It's
Yeah.
a protocol. Okay.
One of the benefits.
Can I do the cafe?
Of podcast and tap room.
Yes. Anything IPA for me, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
same?
Like hazy or West Coast?
Both.
We're not real picky.
He's going to make it real easy to give them all the same one because that
Get them
makes
3 It
sense.
came from Beyond, and they'll get real loose.
Oh.
They'll loosen up real quick.
Are we too tight? Are we too
No,
too guarded for
it's just a
Nah.
10% beer, so
Yeah.
you know,
I can handle that.
everyone will get loosened
I
up.
love that.
So I know that one of the biggest parts about point of sales these days is processor fees and how some of the point of sale systems are tied to a processor. So they may have lower fees, but they have higher processing fees. They may have lower hardware costs up front, but per transaction fees get added on and all that works. So what makes Spot On different? Oh, you.
I'm gonna let Drew take.
Okay, all right.
I mean, we can kind of
Jake's
both talk
yeah, we can both talk about it. It's a friendly conversation. What's great about Spot On is that we really do focus on, the independent owned, the local, our apps eat local, and we see that as a big concern. So we've actually developed some really cool ways to work on the processing side to really benefit because times are getting tougher, margins are getting smaller. So we really focus on how do we help, these business owners retain, some of that margin. So we offer a few different options. I'll let Jake talk a little more, like the one that everybody loves.
Yeah, I mean, I think most of us are familiar with surcharging, which is a little bit of a controversial topic because as a consumer, I don't love that, seeing that line item at the bottom of your check that's like a 3.5% fee will be added if you use a card, right? And it's like, oh, I wasn't really expecting
That's
that.
kind of getting normalized a little bit, though.
That's getting normalized. The preferred method, in my opinion, is actually something known as dual pricing or cash discount. And what that does is essentially
I'll pass this one to Jake if there's a third one.
we will help program the menu. And what we're going to do is we're going to uplift their menu prices. So whatever's listed on the menu, we will uplift that by a certain percentage to cover the processing fee. So now their menu price reflects a credit card price. So let's say that is $10 on the menu. When I go to pay with my card, I'm going to pay $10. That's what I'm expecting to pay. But there's also an option on the POS or on the handheld, however they're choosing to pay, that will say a cash discount. And it will be, if you pay with cash, it'll be $9.60. Something like that. So essentially, it's the reverse model of surcharging, where that cost is already included in the menu. Every consumer is expecting that price, and then they're just pleasantly surprised with a cash discount option.
That's marketing right there.
Like gas stations.
Pretty much just like
Yeah.
gas stations, except you don't have to post both prices, but it is that same idea, right? You just get a cheaper deal, you happen to have cash. Well, guess what? Most of us aren't carrying cash. I don't have any cash on me. But I do like the fact that that is an option. Hey, next time I visit this spot, maybe I'll bring my $20 that I happen to grab from
Well,
my
psychologically, it changes the way people see that. If you're paying with a card and you get an extra charge, you feel worse about that, right?
100%.
Whereas if it doesn't change anything, you don't even think about it. But if you do pay with cash and you get a discount, you're like, it's not even a paradigm shift. It's just a psychological shift.
Small
It's really
little
interesting.
mentality,
Yeah,
that we've been able to see. We've had a ton of success with it. Like as you mentioned, surcharge does get more popular because merchants want to offset those fees now. And before they used to say this is the cost of doing business, right? So we have to, 2 to 4% is typically what they're paying. Margins are already slim enough. If there's a way to offset that, then why not explore that at least, right?
And do you guys do processing?
So yeah, we do the processing, we handle the processing. And to your point, you mentioned certain POS systems are tied directly to their own processing. Some are more agnostic, so you can have options. At Spot On, we have a meet it or beat it policy. So if we can at least meet where you're at or beat it, that's most of the time what we're going to do. To add a layer to that, processing in our mind is like a small part of it though. It being a POS, obviously it is an important piece, but we are at Spot On are a little bit more focused on like the software and technology that's actually going to help build recurring revenue, help customers come back in more frequently, help guests order more frequently, order more, having more ability to order more easily, essentially. So
Right. What is the big difference for you from selling beer to selling technology? Because that's got to be a huge adjustment.
Not starting with a cold beer every morning. That's probably I'm just messing. It's.
You can still do that.
I still can, and I have.
And
we do that.
Jake.
So beer Drew. The big difference is just more on the timing of the day when I'm going in. When you're in the beer sales field and you're going out, you're doing promos at night and all of that. Most owners and managers are making decisions about point of sale and stuff earlier, in the day, and they're out of there by 2. Hopefully, we'll knock on wood, because I want every one of them to be out, and if they're in at 8 o'clock on a Friday night, something's gone wrong. So the plan is to get out by 2. So that's the big change, is just going out and talking to people, looking more on that side of everything as far as like the processing, the margins. Like Jake said, it's a very small part, the processing, and we do focus on, that's what I love about this company, is I actually get to help a lot of the people, a lot of the bars and restaurants that I used to sell beer to, and that helped them in one way. We'd go and have some beers and have fun. Now I can look and say, hey, what are you doing as far as marketing? Because yes, we do point of sale, but we also have this awesome cutting edge technology that'll help you with your marketing. It's like a set it and forget it. Marketing has our AI to help build these ad campaigns, and then can blast them out to your social media for you. You can say, hey, let's do a Taco Tuesday special next Tuesday, and I need a banner for it for Facebook and Instagram, Google, and it sends it out, which takes a whole lot off of a small business plate, because they, as I brought up before, and I'm sure you all have seen it, these independent businesses and restaurants, they don't have a huge marketing team like the big national chain across the street has. Those guys have a huge marketing team. Jim Bob's local corner bar or taco shop, he can't keep up with that. So his area is being blanketed by the national chain. What we've done now is we've given him the ability. We're a huge national brand in the point of sale world. We have a huge marketing department. Let's let Jim Bob compete with the guy across the street, the big national brand. We're going to lend you our marketing team and our technology to help you grow, which we see ourselves more as a partner to the business versus just their processor or just the guy that sold them POS. And that's been a huge change, is being able to help on the other side of things.
Cool.
Huge change.
Dig it.
Yeah.
What is it that you guys are looking to get out of your membership with the Guild?
I mean, Jake could probably speak to that. He's the one that kind of got us into it. So.
I think the biggest thing is the networking. Getting in front of different breweries and tap rooms, and just kind of showing them what we're about. We're here to help, and we really just want to make your business really successful.
Cool. Being able to lean in and show our support, that we don't just print Eat Local on the hats. We talked about it and wanted to join with the Guild because we come from the beer industry. We love Arizona craft breweries. We want to support all the local guys, and this is a way that we could join on and just, like Jake said, let you know what we're about, and you have a friendly face if you do want to look into that. Otherwise, you could also just call Jake up and say, hey man, you want to come out to this new beer release, and Jake will be there. Jake, he's got text message chains to invite us. So.
I love it.
What are the point of sale systems that are most used right now? It's Toast, and is there another one?
I mean, it's probably Toast, Swear, Clover, us, and maybe Aloha.
And so what's the...
Aloha still alive?
Yeah.
Jeez, I can't even take it.
I
It's
know.
so ridiculous.
Out of personal curiosity, if you go to someone and they're using Toast, like what's the pitch? What makes you guys different than...
Yeah,
in one of those?
great question. Toast is probably our number one competitor in the space because they're the exact same mentality in that they are focusing solely on restaurants and hospitality.
Right.
Whereas Square and Clover, typically you'll see more retail. Yeah, that's what it was designed for. Not that it can't service, anyone in that space, but if someone's there using Toast, I think probably the number one question we'll go in asking is, hey, how do you feel their customer service is treating you?
Oh, killer.
And I can only ask that really because of how confident we are in our platform. Jake here is wearing a shirt that says, I'm a real human who can really help. That's a spot on branded shirt, by the way. On my water bottle and on our tagline on the website, it's we actually give a shit. So our real big push as a differentiator is like our customer service.
Love that.
That's part of the local piece of this too. We want people locally going into these places rather than having to rely on a customer service line 100% or whatever. So I would say that's probably our biggest differentiator is that customer service. And I've flipped a couple of Toast accounts, and some of them, the only reason they switch is because they want someone that they can call. And a 480 number, they're texting me, Jake, I have this issue. Can you help me out?
Yeah.
Sure thing. And I escalate or do whatever I need to. So I think that's probably the biggest thing. At the end of the day, POS systems are all the same. The functionality, at least, like take a card, put in an order, take payment, you're done. The biggest differences are like on the back end. What is the POS doing something for you to help build your business, and also is the customer service helping you figure out issues when you're on a Friday night and you're struggling and the system's down, that kind of stuff. So
That's awesome.
With that, like the coolest thing talking about, something that differentiates us as well is our new, we have just released the AI menu building. So on a busy Friday night, you don't even have to be in here. Your head brewer says, hey, I found this keg, we got to get it on there. Your bartender doesn't know how to add that button, so they're just putting it under another beer. You can jump on your phone or your laptop anywhere in the world that you have connection. Tell the AI, hey, build me a new hazy IPA button at $7, and it will instantly update onto your screen.
That's cool.
With a picture. That's something that nobody else is doing.
that is.
That is a really
couple
cool
of things in there that were like, this is coming around the corner, and we already have it. That's rad.
And coming from the beer world, like Jake and I, as soon as they announced that, both of us looked at each other. We're like, "That's going to be so sick for tap rooms." Like, you're changing out beers all the time, and you need to keep track of them. And if you're not here, like you've got to be here, or somebody's got to be here to do it. And on a busy Friday night, you can just go on your phone, go in the dashboard, hey, hazy IPA, and then your bartender's like, "Oh, I see it now." That's awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool.
That's crazy. Cool. Well, thanks for being here, guys.
Thank you.
We're going to get into our news segment next.
Awesome.
I mean, you guys are news. It's pretty exciting.
Yes, of course.
Thank you again. Oh,
Thanks for.
Hey, cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
ding, ding. Good jobs.
And when you guys want to get out of this heat and come up and visit me up north, because
Twist my arm.
it's real nice up there.
Is it hot out there?
Up north?
I-
or out there?
I didn't even
Right now
notice.
Seems
fine.
for a Flagstaff
This
week,
week, next week is supposed to be like a high of 93 this week here.
It was 62 degrees when I left my house this
there.
morning. It was rather nice.
My very adorable son, who is 22 years old and is a manager at Beaver Street Brewing,
Okay.
calls his mother almost every day. Let's go 5 days a week. And definitely leans into it's hot as shit where you live and it sucks.
Then the snow comes and
Oh, he loves that.
as long as he's okay.
He's
with
like,
that.
I'll ride my bike to work in the snow. It's no problem. Okay.
Yeah. I'll complain all summer down here, and then it gets cold up there, and I'm like, I'm back to complaining about it. I'm a fair weather friend when it comes to residents. So
Cool. Thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have had a very exciting podcast today, bro.
Yeah, it's been great.
This is very different from our normal ones, which is just a lot of not so fast talking.
Yeah.
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 I don't know about that. So
I don't know about that.
There's,
I have a few beer news items to go
I was going to
through.
say, there's there's been some news in the last week or so.
Well, we did a podcast last Wednesday, so we
you
already
covered
did
some
the
things.
Huss
Okay.
thing.
Yep,
Huss
okay.
and Phoenix Beer Co.
Yeah.
Becoming
Zonified.
Zonified, yes.
Is it zonified or is it zona fide? Because I know bona fide can also be pronounced bona fide.
Oh boy.
So I kind of like
We
zona
should get
fide.
someone on this
I
podcast to
know.
talk about it.
I like zona fide
Who knows
personally,
things, yeah.
but because it sounds more,
Fancy?
Yeah.
FAF.
But, bona fide.
Yeah.
Zona fide.
Well, in case someone missed it,
Okay.
there is a new collab between PBR and Campbell's Soup. So they have beer soups coming up. Very exciting.
Interesting.
This is my new news
I love it.
segment.
I'm
We haven't
hearing
done
about
before
it
so much.
for the first time right now.
Yeah, that's why I have
think
you
all
here.
of these
Yeah.
things.
Let's see. Massachusetts is now allowing direct-to-consumer shipping from out-of-state breweries.
Hey.
That's pretty great.
So an Arizona brewery could ship someone in Massachusetts. some
In
beer.
Arizona, we are allowed to ship to consumers. That is what the law says.
Interesting.
It doesn't say consumers in Arizona. It just says consumers.
Interesting.
Deliver beer to consumers.
I like it.
There's a little bit of controversy on what that term deliver means. Does that mean you physically have to deliver it? Do you send it through UPS?
I'm not totally sure if any breweries are going to send people to Massachusetts to bring people beer.
Chances are very slim unless someone's on a trip or something. But it is a new opportunity, and it just shows that even in states with not the most forward-thinking beer laws, that things like that can happen. So
Yeah, that's
that
great.
gives opportunities for our breweries in the future, hopefully.
Do you think there is a demand for ordering beer from out of state?
Yes, because people,
Like in
this
general?
Arizona is such a transient population. Like our people move to other places. Our people obviously move here from other places. People vacation here for many times longer than a standard vacation.
Yeah.
Like they'll come down for a long time. They'll really get hooked into a particular brewery that they love and they want to
Okay.
have that beer again
that's cool.
and bring it and be like, oh, buddies, we're going to have a party on Friday. I'm having my favorite beer from
Yeah.
Arizona.
That's awesome. I love
So there is definitely a market. Is it a large market? I can't promise that.
that. Sure.
But a market.
But a move like this opens things up.
More opportunities, better. Yeah.
Totally.
Big news item is that I don't know who determined that Americans are drinking less for the first time in 90 years.
I've heard this.
What do you think about that?
I always have my first question is always, is it generational or is it overall? Because I know I've heard that the younger, the Gen Zers that are coming of age, of drinking age, are just not as interested in it as maybe us millennials were. Because, and I don't know, maybe there's, I think there's a lot of factors. I think that maybe the fact that like cannabis is more and more available, people are choosing that over alcohol. I don't know why you have to choose one or the other. I don't know why you could just do both.
People don't, and like they don't choose one or the other.
Right.
But do they choose a little less alcohol
Yeah.
and some cannabis, or
I do think, I mean, I don't know. I've spent a lot of time thinking about this, and I can't always come to like a coherent opinion about it, because I just think there's a lot of factors.
yeah?
Whether that's
Well, we're an aging population, right?
Yeah.
Like there are more
So whether
people
that's-
getting older than there are
Right.
coming up.
I think there's a cultural element to it. Maybe there's a part of it that's like we're so aware of the challenges people have had around alcohol, on like a celebrity level. Like maybe there's so much more attention on even younger celebrities going through issues with alcohol that maybe it's turning people off,
Right.
younger people off to it. I know even me as a 36-year-old beer drinker, like there is at least when I started drinking beer, the beer community, the beer enthusiast community, the brewery community, all of it was skewed a lot older.
Right.
I think now my generation has like certainly assimilated into the beer community for sure. But yeah, I mean, I can see why maybe the younger generation. To me, it has to be cyclical. I feel like it's cyclical.
I mean, 90 years is a pretty long cycle.
Yeah, it is.
Generally, it's pretty steady, but things change, and I think we're going through kind of a big societal change on a lot of things right now.
For sure.
So that could come into it. I don't know. The National Beer Wholesalers Association says that the numbers in that report are not accurate, and everyone calm down, which in my head, I'm like, well, that's what a beer sales guy would say, isn't it? Right?
Totally.
So I do have a lot of faith in their data, but I also know that, we are biased as part of the industry and what we want to believe. So I guess it's just an ongoing thing to look at and be aware of.
Well, I also think that, like, people's tastes, people's preferences, they all change, right? Mm-hmm. And so I think it also forces breweries to consistently rethink like how they're engaging with their communities, how they're bringing people into the fold.
It's more than just the beer.
Yes,
that's what we always have to remember.
And I think the more we can, beer already had like a sort of a rebranding, 10, 15 years ago, where 25
years ago.
Right. Where it's like, it moved into more of like a craft,
Farm to table was hot for a while,
yep.
and beer fed into that for sure.
For sure. And I think now, I mean, it's never going to end. I mean, I said 10, 15 years because that's how long I've been in it. But you've been in it longer, and so you've seen it happen consistently. So I think we just have to continue to do that. The other thing I think of is the industry also has to evolve. I'm always thinking about how, like, wine has this hospitality element, this like broader hospitality element, where people travel to Napa or Bordeaux or whatever for these and it's like, to me, there's that exists in beer for sure, but is there another way to, I'm putting on these beer dinners, and I think like showing people that the beer food pairing is super dynamic, and there's so much, and there's so many varieties and so many different ways to elevate the beer drinking experience with the food experience. And like, we just have to continue to come up with new ways to frame beer.
Yeah.
I think maybe
we keep talking about beer, but really what we're talking about is breweries.
True.
And the hospitality that we can provide.
Right. I mean, breweries do a great job of being like the neighborhood spot.
Yeah.
Of being like, that sort of very welcoming, accessible, but
wineries tend to be destinations.
Right.
Breweries tend to be the neighborhood spot.
So is there a way to bridge that gap?
We could be,
right.
What about combining wineries and breweries together?
Sure.
Had a discussion with one of our members this week about the alternative proprietorship and how to do. I want to serve cider. Well, get an alternative proprietorship. You can have a farm winery and you can have a brewery in the same place.
Yeah.
In the same place, and just do that.
I think I've heard, I haven't been, but I've heard that like the hop farms, in the Pacific Northwest have sort of created almost like a winery experience when you go to some of the hop farms, which I think is cool.
Yeah.
I know Stone at one point was talking about opening a hotel that kind of was like sort of a destination for beer. I think people have had this idea, so by no means do I think it's an original one, but yeah, I think bridging that gap between the neighborhood spot and a destination, I think is, I think a lot of cities. I know City of Mesa is working on sort of. They made that that designation of like this is a beer city, that hopefully helps.
Flagstaff too, like
Flagstaff
they're
for sure.
deep into it.
So, to me, it's not any one thing that one brewery could do. I think it's as an industry as a whole, as a community as a whole, people have to continue to come up with new ways to engage. I really love the intersection of food and beer that has kind of gotten more attention. So, yeah, I don't have an answer, but we just have to we can't get complacent as an industry.
Being just a place that makes beer certainly is not going to, I mean, generally, I shouldn't say certainly because there are exceptions to everything. Generally, that is a troubling.
It's one-dimensional.
Yeah. People get bored with that.
Yeah. And there's so many options now. It's like, I kind of said it earlier. Like, if you have your choice between going somewhere that has something that's happening or has good food or going to just a place that just has beer, you're going to pick the first one every
place
time.
That has more to do. Yeah.
Every time.
And
but,
hey, next item. Sierra Nevada has hired a new marketing manager.
Okay.
She is a younger person, probably like your age. Her history is that she was a marketing manager for Procter & Gamble.
Interesting.
Any thoughts about that? Literally diapers and soap.
I mean, to some degree, I think maybe that goes a little bit to what I was saying about, needing to reframe beer a little bit and maybe getting somebody who is outside of that space could bring an interesting approach to it. I think here's the thing. Beer is a very traditional thing, right? Like I think in a lot of ways, the product,
yeah,
right. And if you talk to the real like home brewing beer nerds, they're all about true to style, traditional. Like they're kind of they are resistant to the peach and cream milkshake IPA,
sure.
like weird, and so like. I think the industry, part of the industry continuing to evolve and continuing to adapt and continuing to, go where it's wanted or find its little niches and everything is like trying different things and different approaches to marketing. And, I don't know anything about this person. I don't know what they did for Procter & Gamble or if they like launched some epic campaign that changed the way people thought of,
diapers and
soap, but
and thousands of other consumer product issues.
I'm a big advocate for bringing new voices into,
right.
And I mean, I've been lucky enough to be that voice for a lot of, because even though I'm part of the industry in a way, I'm still outside of it enough to where sometimes the thoughts or ideas or perspectives that I bring
we
to
get
the
blinders.
table.
I mean, everyone gets blinders.
100%.
It is a human nature.
Totally.
You get into a business, you have all these things, let's just make it real simple. You move to a new restaurant. You're a server at one restaurant. You move to a new restaurant. And you're like, oh my God, we didn't do it that way. We did it this way. We didn't do it that way. That's why collabs, I think, are great for brewers because
100%.
they get to see different ways that people do the process or use the ingredients. But we don't have that kind of thing for our marketing and our ownership groups. Like, you have to look outside to what is insurance doing? What is construction doing? All these people do business.
Yeah. Well, I think the other challenge too is that marketing is increasingly more expensive, right? Hiring somebody in marketing is expensive. There's additional costs. There's the hiring the person, and then there's all the advertising costs and everything like that, and that's not getting any cheaper either. I mean, so
It goes up and down.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
new markets open, new avenues for putting your
Right.
message out come up all the time.
totally. But so I think it's interesting to see what a large brand like Sierra Nevada is doing.
Yeah.
Because I think it can offer some ideas.
Right.
So if I was talking to a brewery owner, I would say pay attention to what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because getting new ideas helps. And sometimes, the larger brands who can afford the fancy marketing campaigns they're going to do it first. And so pay attention to it.
Right.
And then if you feel like it's going to work for you, do your best to replicate it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's good. I think it's
So
good.
here's an example. Button Brewing Company.
Uh-huh.
They are selling advertising in their beer garden.
Okay.
If you are a local business and you would like to reach our customers, put up a banner, be part of our marketing campaigns for the next year, and it'll cost you $1,500.
I think that's a good idea.
I
think it's a slippery slope.
I feel like I haven't seen anyone else do that.
No.
And I think that's an opportunity that many of our people in our industry could really
For sure.
do. I mean, is it going to change the world? But probably not. But it's definitely
the only
gonna
thing
make-
I would, and this maybe comes more from like being a beer consumer. I would be sure it's being executed in a thoughtful and in a thoughtful way, because what you don't want is your beer garden to turn into like a billboard.
the outside of the outfield at
Yeah.
spring training.
Yeah, so I think if you come up with creative ways to do it, if it looks nice, right? Like if it's just a bunch of like
Banners.
vinyl banners zip tied to a fence,
Yeah.
I think it could look tacky.
Could go bad. Yeah.
and it could
Sure.
as a guest of that brewery, you could feel like this is tacky.
A little weird.
Yeah. But if they do it, I think in a thoughtful way, and they put some effort into making it look nice, I think it can be really effective.
Yeah. Saddle Mountain Brewing Company just put out a
with
message
Scout.
that they are joining with Scout,
Yes.
which is kind of odd since Scout is now Hensley. I was on last week's too.
Okay.
So there's more opportunity either way
Right.
to get your favorite Saddle Mountain beer, which Hop Snob, give me that stuff.
I'm
Put it right
I'm
in
a
my
clandestine
vein.
guy.
Yeah. Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, you like those things that win medals all the time?
Yeah, I do.
Cool, cool, cool.
Also, I think clandestine is the beer that I remember Kitlifter being when I was first getting into beer. And
Sure.
so, I mean, I know that the decision to sign with a distributor is always a nerve-wracking one for a brewery.
Yeah.
Because, how's your brand going to be presented to the world? How is it going to be, can your production keep up?
For sure. I mean, you're coming
whatever
from
it is.
a tap room only with slight self-distribution to
Yeah.
now we have beer all over the state
Right.
and boom.
Yeah.
Are you going to be able to keep up? For
Right.
sure.
And so, from that sort of logistical perspective, I know that that's always a hard decision. Saddle Mountain's been around long enough. I imagine
Right.
that this is a decision they've thought about
For a long time.
while.
Sure. Absolutely.
and they those guys know. Anthony, the brewer, knows. John, their marketing guy, knows. So I think that they wouldn't be doing it if they didn't think that they could execute. As a consumer, I'm excited because they're so far away from me
Yeah.
that it'll be fun to have access to their beer.
For sure.
Even if it's at more tap rooms and stuff. But yeah, I don't know anything about Scout, so I don't know. I don't have opinions about whether that was the right choice or not. I'm sure it was, but I'm excited for him.
Pedal House is with Scout.
Okay,
Ren House is with Scout. Fate is with Scout.
well, those beers are everywhere.
Pretty good.
So, yeah.
Pretty good company. That's
Pretty good
true.
coverage for sure.
Wilderness Anniversary for 12 years is coming up next week.
That's wild.
This is going out Thursday. We're recording on Tuesday.
Okay.
So we have a week until that happens, ish, less. So a lot of events, a lot of things going on with that. That's cool. And my friend Devin Krebs, who's on Steal This Beer. That's a podcast with John Hall, which is one of my favorite listen tos while I'm just kind of rolling around. It is the podcast about we have 4 beers and let's talk about them.
Sure.
But of course, it's a super fun listen. So I recommend everyone listens to Steal This Beer episode with Devin Krebs from Seventh Son Brewing in Dunedin,
I like
Florida.
Seventh Son.
Yeah,
I've had some of their beers. They're great.
She's awesome. It's wrap up time. You know why?
I love it. Why?
It's time to go to the bathroom.
That's a good reason.
All right. So, hey,
Thanks for having me.
I'm so glad you were here.
I'm
Thank you
glad
so
I was
much.
here too.
This was a great episode. I hope I can get it produced and put out. And hey, have a great event tonight.
Thank you.
Craft 64.
Yes.
It's going to be over by the time this comes out.
But we have more of them.
Yes. Check out
we have more
The
Craft-
Exceptional Vibe.
The Exceptional Vibe on Instagram. Just exceptionalvibe.com.
Yeah, go
All
see
my
what
notes
they
are
have going on. And thank you all for being here. We'll see you next week. I look tiny. I look so little.
Perspective is, yeah.
It's closer to, no, it's